So, yeah, I know you've been here for quite a bit. You've heard Kenny and a couple of our customers talking about like the agentic part and the focus on AI. So today I'm going to focus on the AI part of Luciq and how we help our customers save their time and like don't waste their time on any latency or any issues that happen on the app. So first things first, I wanted to talk on the high level view of things when it comes to Lucic and your mobile app. So first of all, you focus on the observability part and detecting the issues automatically. So we want to help you observe every single issue that you see on your app in a very smart way where you have a lightweight SDK that you add into your app and just captures all of the issues that you have for you. And then the dashboard will be able to help you triage those issues as fast as possible and fix those issues as fast as possible as well. And we built that on top of years of building like a platform that collects data in the best way possible to help you with the agentic part of like what's coming next in the world in general. So as you can see here, we can detect every single issue that happens on the mobile app. We've been focused on mobile for the past 10 years, and this is why we can understand the mobile specific behaviors and the mobile specific issues that happen on a mobile app, like a crash or an out of memory or even ANR on Android, like screen loading issues, screen rendering issues, network performance issues on the client side, flows, any issue that you might think of that happens on your mobile app will be detected by the Lucic SDK. But then that gets you to think like how can I intelligently see like an overview of the app, like how can I see if my app is actually in the good benchmark or like is it on the bad side of things. So what we did is we built that intelligence by having a frustration free session score, which is your north star metric. And someone would ask me like what is the difference between that and like a crash free session. So crash free sessions is the normal KPI that everyone has been using for the past like 10 years since the start of mobile, but it only looks at one specific metric, which is the stability of your mobile app. So what the frustration free session score does, it encapsulates all of those specific metrics that you have on the mobile app, and it gives you a single number for it. So like we can go back to our engineering managers, our CEOs, our C levels, and tell them like our app is at the 96% frustration free session, which is a great way to talk about it. Like it's not just stable from a crash perspective, it's also very user friendly. It has the best user experience in general. But then now as a developer, I want to see like how can I start fixing the issues that affect that score the most. So like those are the issues that are affecting my app the most and affecting my user experience. So again, part of the intelligence and the triaging that we built was the frustrating issues list. And this is more on the agentic side of things. It looks at all of the issues that you have on the app and it gives you a way to start prioritizing issues according to how effective or how badly they affect your app and the impact they have on your score and your app. So as you can see here, it's prioritized from top to bottom. I can see the worst issues that are happening on the app or the issues that are affecting the app the most until I get to the bottom of the list. So as a developer, my day-to-day would be to get into that specific issue and start fixing it and start looking at how I can fix that specific issue. So now I will take you through how people usually were fixing those issues prior to the agentic part and like how we made AI make their lives a lot easier with this. So like let's go through that really quickly on how they can fix that in the traditional fashion, and then let's move to the agentic part. So with any crash reporter, for example, this is a crash, an out of memory. You can go through any of the issues. Actually, let me choose another one. I don't like this one. So any issue that you have on the app, you'll be able to see when was it first seen, when was it last seen, the number of occurrences affecting that. Of course, like a stack trace for each and every app version that you have. You can even have a stack trace for each occurrence if you need to. So this is like the normal way of doing it. I even can see the occurrence level of each and every crash. So I can go into a specific occurrence or a specific issue that the user saw, and like go through the exact same steps that they did. Like what app version are they using? Like what device are they using? What OS version are they using? And even look at the logs for that specific user, any network call, any user steps they did, any logs, custom logs that I want to add. I can see all of that from looking at each and every occurrence. And I can also see what they did through each and every screen. So like that's the steps that the user did until they got to that specific crash. So I can see they went to that screen with those specific steps. They went to that screen, and then at last they were at that point, and that last button they pressed where was the crash occurring, or like where did the problem actually happen. So again, this was our day to day since the start, collecting the right information and the right data that any developer or any engineer would need to actually reproduce the issue. The problem is seeing the patterns. And like I have one crash that has like 10,000 occurrences. I'm not going to go through each and every one of those occurrences. I want something to aggregate that for me. I want to see patterns. And we also used to have that as well. Like we can tell you which app version is affected the most by that specific crash, or even a specific device that was affected by that specific crash. So like those are the things that we go through in order to give you more insights into any of those patterns that you see, like any feature flags that are affecting that specific score or that specific issue. So again, like this was the normal day to day, going through those things manually, checking all of those occurrences, checking all of those patterns. So where did AI or the agentic part come in? So we wanted to focus on especially one of our main agents, which is the resolve agent. So the resolve agent looks at how we can help you fix the issue as fast as possible and give you all of the details that you need to fix the issue. So as you can see here, I can get the root cause of the issue. So the root cause would tell you by looking at evidence and tell you exactly what are the contributing factors to that specific issue by looking at every single point of data that I was just mentioning, like every single occurrence, every pattern that we have, by just looking at all of those and giving you a way to see the root cause of that issue. And it also detects another pattern. So it looks at the patterns and it sees like the background issue right there. So like this crash was most of the time happening on the background side of the app. Like it was not even happening when the user was using the app. And last but not least, when it comes to the debug assist, and I think this is the core one, like this is the one I love the most, reproduction steps. Like what is the common flow that the users were going through step by step from screen to another, and where they were actually crashing. So like this is just the magic one that everyone was wanting to fix an issue as fast as possible, like reducing the time to resolve it or reducing the time to reproduce it. Like this is the biggest challenge. So I can see there, if I pick up my phone right there and I go through the exact same steps that are written here, I'll be able to reproduce that specific crash for myself, and I'll be able to figure it out and fix the issue as fast as possible. So now this was more of like giving you insights into the patterns, but we wanted to take it a step further. I want to actually resolve the whole crash. Like I don't want to be looking at just the insights or the patterns. I want to actually fix the crash right away. So what we did build was the resolve agent itself. So this agent generates a fix. So now we have the source code integration. I have access to your code. I understand the problem. I have been living on the app for a while. I can understand the patterns. I can get to the root cause and the fix of that specific issue. So now it's looking at the stack trace. I don't want you to be waiting for it to generate a fix. So it will even tell you the reasoning, and it will tell you where the problem lies in which line of code, and what are the specific changes that it's actually doing, and what changes should it be doing. And then you can even create the PR, and from there you can take it a step further, do a CI check, and merge the pull request automatically without doing anything. So it helps you through like a co-pilot phase where it helps you ship a fix as fast as possible. So like this was a release we just released, it has a very big problem that's causing like 10% of the users crashing. I want to make sure I can fix that as quickly as possible, and I can do that through the Lucic dashboard. So again, I created the fix. I can see the change. I created the PR. I merged the PR and I did all of the CI checks. I can even go a step further and release it to the store. So like I can complete the build, I can upload to the store, and I can release it to the store and see that it was accepted by the store as well. So like that took you from observability and like detecting issues to prioritizing a specific issue that I can see affecting and impacting my score the most. And then I took it to fixing the issue by resolving it through the resolve agent, and it actually generates a fix and it looks at the CI pipeline to make sure it's not causing any issues in the pipeline, and it merges and then it actually releases to the store. So it's a complete cycle for from issue to fix to release. So this was more on, now I have access to the source code. I do have the ability to actually fix that specific issue by this type of integration. But let's say I want to do things differently. I live on a specific IDE. I'm using Cursor, I'm using Cloud Code, whichever the way you want to use it. You can integrate the Lucid MCP server into your code. So this is where you're actually living right now. So usually you're coding from there. You're trying to build features. You're living there. You're asking AI to help you with that. And you want to be able to do the same thing with fixes. So the MCP server will be able to send you the details. And again, the core here is the SDK collecting the data that you need to help you fix issues faster and get to the root cause of the issue. So through the MCP server, I can actually ask the MCP server to get me insights into my app. So as you can see here, I can list the top 3 crashes happening on my production app. And I can see that this was sorted by the occurrence counter. And I can see that there was like a non-fatal, another non-fatal, and the crash, that they were the issues or like causing the most issues, or the most like the top crashes I see on my app. So if I want to fix that specific crash, I want to focus on fixing the crash. So again, I'm speaking in like normal language. I'm used to it. I'm using it on my IDE. So I want the details that I can pull from Lucic to be able to help me fix that issue on my app from the code right away. So again, if you don't have like, if you're not giving your source code away, you want to have like everything controlled, you can still connect the MCP server to get all of those insights by just integrating the MCP server and getting all of the insights to actually fix that for you. Again, I can just leave that to actually start exploring the options and looking at my code and looking at the issues that I'm getting from and the insights that I'm getting from Lucic. I'll be able to fix that issue through the agent itself. So I'm just going to keep it running, and it will be able to fix that issue for me right away. So this is another way of doing it, by just giving the MCP server the ability to pull the data from the Lucic SDK and the Lucic dashboard. So now we were focused on the normal issues, the issues that we're used to. So like I'm used to seeing crashes on my app. I'm used to seeing all of those specific issues. But now again, I think John was asking about this. He was saying like, I want to be able to use Lucic to be able to capture issues that automatically get captured. Like I did not see that coming. It was not a crash. It was some kind of issue where a user saw a screen that's not loading, or like an issue where an error playing station or whatever the problem was. So we have a module for session replay where we capture each and every session that happens on the app. And that gives us a lot of data that we can use in your direction. So we want to help you get to the root cause of the issue, or get to issues that you didn't even know was there. So for example, visual issue. So as you can see here, this was automatically detected from the sessions running on the app and like session replay. And the AI was able to detect that this was an error playing issue. So again, this is not a crash. This is not an issue that might be like, it's not an app hang. It's not an ANR. This was just an issue that was captured by taking screenshots into your app. So as you can see here, I'll be able to report this as a bug. So now I know what's happening and I can see the session itself. So I'll be able to open that session and go through the exact steps that the user did in order to reach that specific error. So again, very easy way for me to detect an issue from AI and be able to resolve it and get to the reproduction steps automatically. So this was one type of issue. So this was a broken functionality, like something on the app that's not working. So if I go to the I apologize. Sorry, this was a visual issue. So again, the broken functionality is going through something that is not working. So like I'm pressing on a specific button, but it's not doing the intended behavior that it should do. So as you can see here, something went wrong. There was an issue when I pressed on a specific button and it says try again. So like I'm trying to press on something on the app, but again, it's not working. So again, AI was able to detect it. This was the detect agent. It was able to detect that specific issue. And I can actually go through the exact session and again, watch the session and see exactly where the problem was. And as you can see here, it's automatically triggered and like tagged by an AI issue where the error screen blocks progress and requires retry. So like this is just very clear. I can see the problem happening. I can see where the problem might be. And I can see that there was an API that took too much time right before it, and it might have caused that specific issue. So like in a quick 2 seconds, I before that I did not even know that this was a problem. And now I have all of the insights I need to actually fix that specific problem. So this was one of the areas where we have been investing a lot in trying to make sure that we, even though we capture a lot of data, we still help you capture things that might go through. Like you're not entirely sure that this is a problem, or you're not seeing what you're not seeing. So like your customers are not reporting those and they're not being reported as a crash or an issue somewhere else. So let's go back a second and just look back at the flow that we've been going through and like how agentic AI or like the AI has been injected into all of those specific ports. So like when we started, I wanted to have more of an overview on the app, and then I saw like the intelligence and like the triage agent looking at the issues for me and prioritizing the issues that I want to look at. And then I was able to get into each specific issue and start resolving them through the resolve agent by looking at the debug assist and like having all of those specific root cause analysis and like reproduction steps and detecting patterns. And then we even took it a step further. We can get into like a resolve agent that just generates fixes for you and fixes that automatically for you and even ship that into the store. And we took the part where I don't want to have like my source code integrated. I'll be looking at it from a different perspective, an MCP server, and I want to be able to capture all of those insights into my IDE or my agent so I can use all of this data flowing there. And then you can detect issues automatically. Like I don't need to be like this is very helpful, especially for like the beta testers. Like they might not capture every issue that happens on the app, so you'll be able to have the detect agent figure those functionality problems altogether. But then that takes me to like I want to be able to still report bugs and still have that element of manual testing where I have a beta testing program where there is 1,000 users that are using my app and they're actually reporting issues that they see on the app. So like if I go through I go through the app and I can see an error playing somewhere, I'll be able to report that issue as quickly as possible by just clicking on a few quick steps on my end. And this will just, let's see, error playing, and I'll be able to send that bug automatically. So like we try to also make it easier for the beta testers. Like they don't need to do a lot of effort into reporting the issues. They'll just be able to report an issue by shaking the device or like pressing on a floating button just the way I did, and I'll be able to see those issues reflecting into the bugs automatically. And I can see here all of the details that were captured automatically. Again, I still like to go back to the basic where the SDK captures all of the data needed for me to build the agentic part on top of it, just to help you triage issues faster and fix issues faster. So as you can see here, this was an error playing issue that I reported. I'll be able to see the same details about the device, about the OS, about any of that, and I'll be able to see the steps to reproduce, like how the user was able to reproduce to go through the steps that they did in order to reach that specific issue, or like that specific bug, whatever the issue they were reporting. So like I can see that and reproduce it really easily. And I think also John mentioned that as well. One of the biggest pain points with bugs is that they are very generic. Like anyone can type anything, anyone can see a specific bug and report it in any way. And sometimes there are a lot of bugs that get reported into a system. So like you need a way to actually figure out like what are the like the issues that are happening. Like are there any duplicates that are being reported by that specific user? And this is where we actually built the smart grouping. So again, part of our triage agent is to help you group issues through AI. So I want to make sure that any issue that I report, if it's a duplicate, the AI will automatically group them together. So as you can see here, this was reported, and the issue I just reported got duplicated on that specific issue because it was the exact same issue where the error playing station, I reported it on the same screen. This was the same exact issue. I can see here the number of duplicates, and I can see that those were duplicated by AI. Like it was able to detect that this was a specific issue that's happening to multiple users, and they're actually reporting the same issue. So this saves you time in order, like before that, I know a lot of customers that were talking to us and they were like, we spend a lot of time um, checking those duplicates and actually grouping them together. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and then they would need to only fix one of them. Like if they fix one issue that has 10 duplicates, then they have fixed 11 bugs by just a click of a button. Like they did not need to go through all of those like manually, or they did not need to go through that duplication process manually as well. So again, I know I've been talking a lot about like the agentic AI part, but I love this about our SDK because I want this to be so you have the ability to get everything that you need from the data that's already being collected by the SDK, and then you built all of that on top of it. So like agentic part, like one of the features that we are releasing in the next couple of days, unfortunately, I was not able to get it released right before this demo, but you will be able to get an insight into your session. So, like, we captured all of the sessions, and we want you to be able to see a summary for that session. You don't need to go through all of the logs and all of the screenshots. We can help you by giving you more of a summary at the top that tells you exactly what's happening on that specific session, or like what are the things you need to keep your mind to. So you wouldn't need to go through all of the sessions manually. And we want to go through more of an aggregate view of the sessions as well, to give you insights into how many sessions have been like seeing broken functionalities, or like how many sessions are seeing force restarts, or like app hangs, or any of those issues that might be affecting your overview as well. So last thing I want to go through before um, I leave it to Christina is um, just a quick summary. So like I want to know like um, how people were perceiving that. Like I would love to hear more of your questions. I'll be looking at the questions after I'm done as well. But like one of the things we wanted to make sure of is we still people are used to capturing the data, like the mobile specific issues that they see on the app, and then we wanted to help them move a step further and be able to use all of that knowledge to their like their gain. So just seeing all of those mobile specific metrics and building all of this AI on top of it, just to make sure we actually get to like the best time saving method. Like I want my developer to be wasting their time, not wasting their time on fixing issues. I want them to be focusing on building new features and developing as quickly as possible, since AI, like everyone is just shipping really fast. So you want to be like coping with that fast AI world where I can ship a new feature every day. But if I'm going back to the issues and I don't have enough time to fix those issues and it takes me a lot of time to reproduce them, then this will affect my overall um, feature development as well. So, in a nutshell, what we do, capture all of the data, send it to the dashboard, and you'll be able to use all of the agentic AI to be able to fix issues faster, resolve the issues, ship the even to the store if you need to, by just clicking a few steps on your end.